Hi guys, welcome back to Shelly Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to do the star stitch. Now this star stitch, I made a little swatch here. As you can see, it's a very beautiful stitch. I like to use this in a lot of projects, and actually the reason why I am showing you this tutorial is because I plan on making future tutorials with projects that that have the stitch in it, and I plan on doing other tutorials as well. So today I'm going to be using a chunky yarn. I'm going to be using Bernat Chunky in the color Soft Royal Blue, and this calls for it's kind of covered over here, but it calls for an 8mm crochet hook. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using an 8mm crochet hook. And you are also going to want a pair of scissors and a darning needle to sew in your ends. So if you want to get your supplies together and meet me back here, and we will begin. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do the star stitch in the round. So what you want to start is you want to start by making your slip knot, and you can make this in whatever way that you wish to. We are going to insert our hook and pull tight. Okay, now we are going to begin by making a chain in multiples of 2. So you can make your chain however long you wish to, as long as you do it in multiples of 2. For the sake of this tutorial, I am going to be making my chain in a multiple of 16, or in a total of 16, sorry. So I've got one chain, yarn over, pull through, that's 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3, yarn over, pull through, that's 4, yarn over, pull through, that's 5, and I'm going to continue on this for 16 chains. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now I'm going to count back just to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your chain straight and make sure there's no twists in it, because if you have twists it could cause you issues later on. So we're going to make sure that our chain is flat, and then we are going to make a slip stitch in this first chain that we created. So that's insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through both. Now we've joined our chain here. Now this is going to be your row 1. This is a 2-row repeat. So for row 1, we are going to want to chain 3. And this is the most beginning, this is the most necessary part of your beginning chain, of your beginning row. And you want to make sure you always have 3 chains. So we are going to now start our first star stitch. You want to work now into the second chain from the hook. So you skip this first chain here. We're going to be working into this second chain. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now you should have 2 loops on your hook. Now instead of pulling through, we are now going to go work into the third chain from the hook here at the bottom. So we insert our hook in there, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Now we are going to work in this first stitch here that we joined with the slip stitch at the beginning chain. So we insert our hook in there, yarn over, and pull up a loop. 4 loops on your hook. And then we are going to insert our hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on your hook, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 6 chains on your hook, and now you are going to yarn over and pull through all of 6 of the loops on your hook. And that is the beginning of your first star. Now we want to chain 1, and then we're going to now be working into these chain 1 spaces. We are going to insert our hook in this chain 1 space and drop a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Now instead of working around this last post here, like some tutorials might tell you to work around this post, and that's fine, but I like to have a fuller looking star, so I like to work into this back loop. So if you actually turn your work here, you can see this is the front loop, and if you pull this a little bit looser, this is the back loop that we're going to be working into. So you want to insert your hook into that back loop, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook now. Insert your chain into this stitch that we made this last post into. Drop a loop, 4 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on your hook, and insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 6 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through all 6 loops once again. Chain 1. That is your second star. So let's do this again. Insert your hook into that first chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the back loop of the last post, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into this bottom chain that this last post was made into, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next chain and pull up a loop, and into the next chain and pull up a loop. Now yarn over and pull through all 6 loops on your hook and chain 1. Now we have 3 stars so far. So now we are going to do this again just to make sure that you have this down pat. We are going to insert our hook into this chain 1 space, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the back loop of the last post. Sometimes it can be a little bit tight, so sometimes you might want to pull it apart a little bit so you can get your hook in easier. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Insert your hook into this chain where the last post was made into, pull up a loop, and insert your hook into each of the next 2 chains and pull up a loop in each chain, for a total of 6 loops on our hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. Now if you want to pause the video, work your way down to your last star, and I will show you how to join to this beginning star. Okay, so I've worked myself all the way to almost the end. I have 1 star that I have left to make here. So I'm just going to show you how to make the last star. So you're going to insert your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the back loop of the previous post, draw up a loop, insert your hook into the chain 1 space of the previous post, draw up a loop, and insert your hook into each of the next 2 chains and draw up a loop. So this one might be a little tough because this is my beginning one that we kind of slip stitched with. Yarn over and draw through all 6 loops on your hook. Now instead of doing chain 1 as you would normally do, we are going to attach this last star to our first star here. So you're going to want to count up 3 chains from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3. Here's the top chain. You want to insert your hook into that top chain. Make sure that you have this previous stitch here fairly tight. yarn over, and draw through both loops for a slip stitch. So as you can see there, we have just joined with our first star. If you chain one and then attach with a slip stitch, you will actually have a really big gap here in the middle, which will show up later on in your work. This just makes it for a little bit of a tighter stitch, so it looks a little bit more professional. Now what you want to do, we are going to begin on round 2. So you want to chain 1, and then we are going to be now working into these chain 1 spaces all the way around. So you are going to yarn over, insert your hook into the first star's chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now this is known as a half double crochet. You are going to be making 2 half double crochets into each of these chain 1 spaces around. So we are going to make a second half double crochet into this chain 1 space. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now we are going to do 2 into the next space. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So as you can see, this basically completes our stars. Now we are going to be working this all the way around. So if you want to pause the video and work your 2 half double crochets into each of the chain 1 spaces, and meet me at the end and I will show you how to join. Okay, so I've worked my way down to the last star here. So you're going to want to do the same as the previous. Insert your hook, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3, and once again into that same stitch. And then you want to join with a slip stitch to this first half double crochet that we made. So insert your hook into the first half double crochet, yarn over, and draw through both loops. And now we are going to do the first row again. So that was the end of our 2-row repeat. So we are going to start again from row 1 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Insert our hook into the second chain from the hook, yarn over, drop a loop, insert your hook into the bottom chain, yarn over, drop a loop, insert your hook into this first half double crochet that we made, yarn over, drop a loop, 4 loops on your hook, and insert your hook into each of the next 2 half double crochets and drop a loop from each. We should have a total of 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, and draw through all 6 loops. And then chain 1. Now once again we are going to do our next star stitch. So insert your hook into that first chain 1 space, drop a loop, insert your hook into the back loop of the previous bar, of the last bar I guess you would say, drop a loop, insert your hook into the same half double crochet that we made the last bar in, drop a loop, and insert your hook into each of the next 2 half double crochets, drawing up a loop in each. You should have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, and draw through all 6, and chain 1. You are going to continue this as we did for the first row all the way around, and if you would pause the video, continue this, and meet me back at the end. So I have once again worked my way almost to the end. I have one more stitch to make. So once again we are going to insert our hook in that first chain 1 space, drop a loop in the back loop of the previous bar, drop a loop in the bottom of the previous bar, and drop a loop in the next 2 half double crochets, 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, draw through all 6, and as before, we are not going to chain 1. Instead, we are going to join with this top chain of the first chain 3 star. Insert your hook. Make sure this is nice and tight. Yarn over and draw through both loops on your hook. Then you are going to chain 1 and repeat your 2 half double crochets in each one of these chain 1 spaces. So if you want to do that, and pause the video and meet me at the end. Okay, so now I've worked all the way to the end of my round, so you are going to want to make a slip stitch with your first half double crochet. So insert your hook in the first half double crochet, yarn over, and draw through both loops. So that is our 2-row repeat, and you are going to want to continue this for as large as you want your project to be. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, feel free to like this video and to subscribe to my channel if you want to receive future tutorial videos. And thanks for watching, guys.